Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slab Chalks.
Here at Stage 4 Designs, we are all about innovation and athlete safety. We've been doing this since 2015, designing the most innovative obstacles in the sport, and now with our partnership with the World Ninja League, we are very excited to bring some of our best designs to the highest level athletes in the world. For our process, it all kind of starts right here in our digital design. There's a much more deliberate process now in what we do, with our goal being the utmost in athlete safety. So we put everything into our digital design first, make sure it's all going to work, then we procure the parts. We learned the process and refined it to what we feel are some of the highest quality urethane products you're going to find in the Ninja space, and that all happens here at our custom-built workbench. A lot goes into our urethane, and we are very proud of the work that we do there. Everything that we build here at Stage 4 is all custom made in-house. It's not like we have a stock of a bunch of stuff. So when you do place an order with us, that order comes through and we basically build everything from scratch. Paint department is scalable. We basically hand paint most things, but some things that require a little bit more spray or bigger, we're capable of that as well. These athletes put these obstacles through some of the most rigorous circumstances that you can think of, and we want to try to plan for every contingency. We never want an obstacle to break on anybody. We always want our stuff to feel solid and not move around a whole lot, so that the athletes can trust their skills to throw the biggest moves that they possibly can on anything that we put out there. Our CNC machine handles all of most of our flat goods. It's the workhorse around here. It actually does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of cutting things out. We don't do any of our flat goods by hand. We make sure that everything is exactly the same and replicable, so that, you know, if you're doing courses or you have athletes that are going either head to head or the same obstacle that you're going to find at one Ninja gym is going to feel exactly the same if you go to another Ninja gym or your home for that matter, so that there's consistency with all of our product. Over the years, as we've added to our suite of products that we offer, we realized that pipe and metalworking is becoming more and more commonplace in Ninja obstacles, and to meet that demand, we've added the ability to do that here as well. So a lot of the obstacles that you'll see that we design and develop are meant to go on truss, and pipes are a big part of that. So we've added a pipe bending station here, and look for, in the future, us to offer a lot more innovative obstacles that kind of exist in that space where pipes are a big part of it. So here, everything that we put out is tested by real ninjas before it goes out. We want to make sure that our obstacles can stand all sorts of unforeseen circumstances. We know that Ninja athletes move in ways that are innovative and new, and we want to try to account for as many of those as we can and make sure that those obstacles hold up. So we test everything. Over the last 10 years, Stage 4 Designs has been committed to developing the most innovative obstacles that you're going to find, but also the safest and most reliable obstacles. Our motto here is elevating obstacles. We do feel that on this platform, we can take something that's both fun and creative, but also elevate it to an industry that deserves to stand on its own.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slab Chalks.
Here at Stage 4 Designs, we are all about innovation and athlete safety. We've been doing this since 2015, designing the most innovative obstacles in the sport, and now with our partnership with the World Ninja League, we are very excited to bring some of our best designs to the highest level athletes in the world. For our process, it all kind of starts right here in our digital design. There's a much more deliberate process now in what we do, with our goal being the utmost in athlete safety. So we put everything into our digital design first, make sure it's all going to work, then we procure the parts. We learned the process and refined it to what we feel are some of the highest quality urethane products you're going to find in the Ninja space, and that all happens here at our custom built workbench. A lot goes into our urethane, and we are very proud of the work that we do there. Everything that we build here at Stage 4 is all custom made in-house. It's not like we have a stock of a bunch of stuff. So when you do place an order with us, that order comes through and we basically build everything from scratch. Paint department is scalable. We basically hand paint most things, but some things that require a little bit more spray or bigger, we're capable of that as well. These athletes put these obstacles through some of the most rigorous circumstances that you could think of, and we want to try to plan for every contingency. We never want an obstacle to break on anybody. We always want our stuff to feel solid and not move around a whole lot, so that the athletes can trust their skills to throw the biggest moves that they possibly can on anything that we put out there. Our CNC machine handles all of most of our flat goods. It's the workhorse around here. It actually does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of cutting things out. We don't do any of our flat goods by hand. We make sure that everything is exactly the same and replicable, so that, you know, if you're doing courses or you have athletes that are going either head to head or the same obstacle that you're going to find at one Ninja gym is going to feel exactly the same if you go to another Ninja gym or your home for that matter, so that there's consistency with all of our product. Over the years, as we've added to our suite of products that we offer, we realized that pipe and metalworking is becoming more and more commonplace in Ninja obstacles, and to meet that demand, we've added the ability to do that here as well. So a lot of the obstacles that you'll see that we design and develop are meant to go on truss, and pipes are a big part of that. So we've added a pipe bending station here, and look for, in the future, us to offer a lot more innovative obstacles that kind of exist in that space where pipes are a big part of it. So here, everything that we put out is tested by real ninjas before it goes out. We want to make sure that our obstacles can stand all sorts of unforeseen circumstances. We know that Ninja athletes move in ways that are innovative and new, and we want to try to account for as many of those as we can and make sure that those obstacles hold up. So we test everything. Over the last 10 years, Stage 4 Designs has been committed to developing the most innovative obstacles that you're going to find, but also the safest and most reliable obstacles. Our motto here is elevating obstacles. We do feel that on this platform, we can take something that's both fun and creative, but also elevate it to an industry that deserves to stand on its own.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another WNL Premier Series Season 4 qualifier. This weekend we're out here in Huntersville, North Carolina for Carolina Ninja Academy, courtesy of our course designer, Kevin Thompson. So happy to be back. We're on our 6th qualifier of the year now. It's getting very, very intense. A lot of people have qualified. We're going to be getting some more qualified via this competition in the Middle East out here in America. Hello, everybody. My name is Billy Dixon. I am joined alongside Kane Malden here today for the commentary of Carolina Ninja Academy. Kane, it's been a week. We're already refreshed. How are we feeling coming into it?
This is a super exciting gym in general because this is in North Carolina, not too far removed from the Tier 1 and Tier 2 and head-to-head championships, which are held in Greensboro. So taking it within that state, it's going to be interesting. A lot of competitors that we typically see who make the trip out are going to get a chance on the Premier Series center stage.
Indeed, they are a lot of great competitors. We're going to be starting out with our kids division very shortly. Let's have a look at the rules for this weekend, what they're going to be doing, and how they got here in the first place. So, we have taken the top 25% of all athletes from the World Championships, as well as their season standings within their region, and everybody who fits that caliber has got an invitation to the Premier Series, meaning that they can compete in any of the competitions that we hold. 14 qualifiers from many different countries. It's a very, very fun time. We have 2 courses that we're going to be running today. We have the placement course and the challenge course. On placement, if you fall or run out of time, your run is over, and it will seed the run order for the challenge course. If you get first place on the placement course, you're going last on the challenge course and vice versa. On the challenge course, every athlete gets 2 retries, but you can only utilize a retry 1 time on an obstacle. And the top 4 athletes in every division on the challenge course get an invite to the Premier Series finals, which are happening from November 20th through to the 22nd at Descend Obstacle Training in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I cannot wait. I was looking at flights this morning for the Ascend finals because I'm hoping to go if I qualify at one of the competitions out in the UK. Cannot wait for it, but we're back here at Carolina Ninja Academy. 12 kids. We've got 4 females and 8 males out here getting ready to go on our course. It's going to be a great time to see what the North Carolina community has to offer.
That's true, and I've picked up on some general vibes offered by our course designer, Kevin, here, and the OCR blood runs pretty deep within him, I would say, and there's a lot at play here that I hope to see in not only the challenge course, but in the placement course. That's something I always love to see from our Premier Series gyms, is that we kind of see their vibe, how they work, how they kind of go about designing a course in full display. That's super interesting.
I agree. I especially love the frame that we're seeing at the minute with the 2 massive airbags with many different opportunities for these athletes to be up high. I'm seeing a slider, which happens to be our course designer Kevin's favorite obstacle. It looks like the swoop slider is what it's called. I've always wanted to take on a slider or a dipper that looks similar to that, and I'm hoping that it can be utilized well in this competition. I'm seeing a trapeze hanging down from it. It's going to be a good time to see if it is utilized. On our placement course, which is going to be our first obstacle, first course even, has 7 individual obstacles within it. Cannot wait to see what all of these guys are going to be doing. Let's have a look. We've got the hardest step, Sonic Curve, the Zip Zip, Crisscross, Just Monkey Bars, all the laches, and the Finish Sprint. So it looks like it's going to be quite a fast course out here. We've seen many different placement courses, challenge many different functionalities of a ninja with endurance and speed, but predominantly speed. And I'm hoping that a lot of that can be utilized within this placement course that we're seeing here. And after that, we're going to be seeing the challenge course in full swing, which I cannot wait to see.
Yeah, that's true. None of these seem particularly complicated, but with that kind of brings in a different sort of vibe of competition, that being overall increase in speed amongst every single competitor we see. So we're going to see how the pace will be pushed. I think we should be getting into a demo run. Here's that hardest step we were talking about.
Looks like it. Here we go. Moving along off the Sonic curve. A slider. Lovely stuff on the zip zip. The crisscross. Lovely. Just monkey bars comes along in here.
Seems pretty
it says
accurate.
it right on the tin. Just the monkey bars. Indeed so, yeah. Moving along here onto all of the laches. There's a long sprint there. It looks like moving on to these bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like. Followed by maybe a trapeze. Nope, moving along on to the finish sprint, which is a run up the warped wall, going over to your buzzer. So it is literally a massive sprint here. Looks like your general running ability might be tested quite a bit, depending on the strategy you're wanting to take on during this placement course. There's a lot of running, but also a lot of upper body stuff with the monkey bars and the laches, so you want to be mindful of how you are approaching them to see if you can save a couple of seconds on each of your competitors.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of cardio. You wouldn't expect that out of a placement course. A lot of placement courses seem to be a little more condensed. But, I mean, we were talking about how OCR may have had something to do with the course design, and we're seeing it here. Up first, though, I believe we are seeing Eliza as our first girl up.
Indeed, we are. Starting out the entirety of this weekend's competition, we got Eliza Augustin coming along through out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Coming along through, she's making her way over. Nice pace we're seeing here. Starting Ninja in 2020, 8 years old, has competed 18 times throughout the regular season, which is very impressive. A lot of brilliant skill on display here from Eliza. A lot of body control. I like to see it.
Yeah, very, very efficient through the monkey bars, but she can't let up now. The laches long sprint over, and now going toe-to-toe with these bars. She is on the shorter end, though I guess that's to be expected from our kids. Hopefully can hurdle herself through. 15 seconds should be enough. Plenty of time if she can catch this final bar. Yes! One more sprint left to go.
Here we go, 5 seconds. It's going to be a close one. Can she make her run up the warped wall? 2 seconds left. Takes the ring, but sadly, time's just going to run out before she climbs up to the top of the warped wall, and the buzzer just out of her reach, sadly. That's still a great way to go for our first competitor, but it's really showcasing how fast all of our athletes are going to have to go across the entirety of the gym, because Eliza was running very, very quick.
Yeah, that's true. That was a super great run. And that still wasn't enough for the buzzer. It's just a testament to how fast Amelia and the rest of our competitors are going to need to go. Amelia Psycho. Pardon my pronunciation if that's incorrect.
Repping some Series 1s. Oh, those are my favorite types of Series 1s. It looks like a midnight kind of color. I love the contrast between the black and white on them shoes. I really want them. But Amelia here on the start line, getting ready to go, coming out of Durham. Just seen what's expected from a very fast pace on this placement course, but it's going to be a tough one to get a buzzer. I wonder who's ultimately going to come out on top.
Yeah, Amelia. There we go. Past the hardest step, as they call it. Maybe a little up for debate, but Amelia, the Sonic Curve. This is where the pace begins to get pushed through the zip. Oh, misstep, and she's down!
No, she's unfortunately down and out on that one. Touches the ground, and that's going to be it for Amelia's run there. Going to make her way over onto that fourth obstacle. That's a tough one. It looks like you need to have some very, very light feet moving on to that second one, because you see her on a second step. She kind of leaned a bit too far forward, and her foot slipped from underneath her on that second one and just threw her off completely. So sadly, that's going to be quite an early fall, meaning she has a solid chance of being our first runner on the challenge course once we get to that point. You can still see her running along through, giving the rest of the course a go up to the top. It seems like one of the bigger time killers is actually climbing up over the warped wall at that point there, which is something I think our athletes are going to have to look after. We have 2 female competitors down, 2 to go in our kids division. The next of which is going to be Brooklyn Beaver. 4'5", started Ninja in 2022, coming out of Charlotte. North Carolina. I remember passing that city on my way to a theme park when I went to Worlds last year. It looks like a beautiful city. A rising fourth grader from there. Favorite thing about training at Carolina Ninja Academy is being with her teammates. So she's got a lot of camaraderie between the rest of the competitors within the competition that we're going to be seeing here, and she might have a home gym advantage as well. I like the idea of starting higher up on the warped wall, getting a bit of a downhill run up, coming into the rest of our obstacles here, and Brooklyn off and running off the Sonic curve.
Yep, establishing a strong start, gets through the steps that gave our previous competitor trouble, and Brooklyn, being taller, can do some nice follow-throughs. The monkey bars are no problem for her. A few seconds ahead of the curve. She's got to take this sprint into the links now, or the laches, as I would call it.
Here we go. This is going to be a very good pace coming into things. Still a couple of seconds ahead of the rest of the field here, but she's taking some backswings. She knows she has time, but I think she's just wanting to get through the obstacle. But I'm still cautious about those run-ups on the warped wall there and climbing over the top. It's going to be a close one. She's very close to getting to the 10-second mark left. Don't know if it's going to be a clear. She's really going to have to motor if she wants to get through. 5 seconds left.
Yeah, burned a lot of time on those bars, and that puts her in the red, and time gonna expire mid-jaunt to the warped wall, but still not a bad run. She just maybe burned a little too much time, though, on those bars. Took one too many extra swings, and it really began to add up. Still, overall, gonna put herself in the middle of the pack.
Precisely so. One more athlete to go. It's Macy Craig coming out of Davidson. Macy out here in her second year of competing in the sport of ninja. Loves practicing with her fellow teammates, and outside of ninja, she does tap dance and loves math. So she's got a lot of brain power and a lot of dexterity in her feet. Going to come into play on these balance obstacles. Not a problem there.
Yeah, Macy, our final kid female here. The only one left who could clinch a buzzer. Gets through the monkey bars in quick fashion. From here, this is going to be the decider in my mind. The bars, we saw a lot of time get burned here previously, and I like this, trying to carry the momentum forward. A backswing is a little concerning, but if she can just carry this out, maybe it won't matter.
Here she goes, trying to build up some momentum. This is an okay pace, only taking 2 swings in between each bar. But then again, it seems like getting 10 seconds left once you're finishing out on this obstacle isn't the best place to be. But Macy's still going to try and propel herself through. She's in second place currently, but time just runs out as she makes her way over to the warped wall complex. And that is it for the kid female runners on our placement course.
Sheesh, what a tough placement course. I don't think we've seen one that's taken out everyone in quite some time. It's just a testament to what this course asks of our competitors here. We're going to see if our kid male competitors, including Jonathan Bowden, can break through here.
Greenville, North Carolina being represented for our first kid male athlete. Let's see if we can get our first buzzer courtesy of Jonathan. Here he moving at a very solid pace at the moment. Trying to get a lot of momentum into that slider across those steps. Not having a problem so far. Nice skips on these bars.
Yeah, a couple Gibbons follow-throughs, whatever it takes, Jonathan. Ooh, this is good. This is good. Great to see. And links into the second bar as well. That's going to help matters. Oh, yes! This was what we wanted to see, Billy.
Time is very much being accepted here. 25 seconds left as he's making the run up the warped wall. Very, very good opportunity to be our first buzzer of the day here. Jonathan Bowden being our first competitor to hit the buzzer in the minute time limit there. What a run that was.
Yeah, absolutely. Following our kid female runs, he knew that he had to move and move quickly. He did just that in that run, and that yielded him the first buzzer of the entire qualifier competition. Anthony Price, that's something he can pick up upon.
Anthony out here has competed 16 times throughout the regular season. preparing himself, getting ready to hopefully get a buzzer representing the NSC Youth Season 5, I believe that is. Coming along through, love seeing that representation. Anthony not having a problem across those steps. He's moving fast though. I'm pretty sure he wants to match the time we just saw from Jonathan, and he's moving at a very close pace to that.
Yeah, huge reach there on the monkey bars with the small frame and everything. That's super impressive. Anthony, oh, a lot of links is coming together.
Yes, I like the pop through motion that he's displaying there. Almost in time with Jonathan here, but it's such a long sprint towards these warped walls. He misses it on his first attempt. He still has time to run up the wall, going to utilize the ring, and then climb up the rest of the walls here, and we're going to get Anthony Price being our second buzzer of the day.
Oh, the Sen train continues to roll. Anthony, yeah, let's look at that again. He skipped 2 bars, and considering our kids 6 to 8 on the smaller side of things, that's a tough thing to do. And then he linked the whole thing on the laches. Impressive technique there on behalf of Anthony.
Aiden Dell is now going to be next up, though, coming out of Willow Spring, North Carolina. 2 for 2 clears so far on our placement course. Aiden hoping to make it 3 for 3 as he comes over on the Sonic curve onto that slider here. Not having a problem.
No,
making
the
the
steps!
but just steps too far backward on each of them, and that's sadly going to count him out of bounds, and that's going to be one of the earliest fails we've had so far yet, sadly.
Yeah, it's a simple mistake. If you put your feet too far back on that trapezoidal block, when it's upside down, of course, it's going to tip on you. You need to step right in the middle, which is an easy thing to make a mistake on when you're in the moment trying to finish as fast as you can. Aiden, though, going to try to close it out in quick fashion here. Climbs up the wall, and that will do it. Not a bad run, just a simple mistake. That's just what happens on a placement course. It's happened to plenty of athletes before. It's even happened to you, Billy, as a competitor.
Oh, yeah. Don't remind me, please. I've put that one out of my league now. But regardless, interesting placement courses that we've seen here. Some interesting runs. 2 clears and an early fail. Not too out of the question from what we've seen in many placement courses before, as you said. But let's see if William Gibson IV is able to come on through. Our first non-North Carolina representative coming out of Acworth, Georgia. 4'5", wingspan of 4'6". Let's see if he can put on a show.
Yeah, it does look a little bit taller. Goes by Liam. Liam is through the zip. Clean! No!
Oh,
Wow!
careful.
What a
That
save!
was interesting. Solid stuff there from Liam. Here he moves, swinging along down, skipping bars left and right. Wants to get a bit more of an even dismount, which he has got. 35 seconds now. Here he moves. A lot of running in this placement course. Their PE classes really must have helped them moving along out here. Here he moves. He's going to try and take one swing in between. No, he's not. He's going to start linking. He must have heard me and is like, watch this, Billy. Here he comes. Nice. Just under 20 seconds as he runs along to the warped wall.
Yeah, Liam practicing up on his magic skills, but this is no trick. This is just full unbridled ninja skill, and Liam finishes the course in 53.9 seconds, putting him in the middle of the pack.
That was such a close call on those steps there. That final step toppled all the way off of the course, but he was able to save it, and by extension, the entire run, which was great to see. Another buzzer. Next up, we're going to be having our 4th to last competitor. 4 more people to go. First of which being Micha Leopold, coming out of Orange Park, Florida. Now, I've seen the run order on the Facebook page for Carolina Ninja Academy. A lot of people coming out of Florida and Georgia today on the East Coast. It seems like the Southeast really taking a liking to this competition. And Micha out here going to come on through and hopefully put on a great show for us all on this placement course. Here he goes.
All right, quick sprint. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I guess we're doing
False
it again.
start? Is that a false start? Okay.
Might be. Did look a little bit eager to take on the obstacles. Hopefully, that redo over won't frazzle him too much, and he can really lock in, dial it in. course, yeah, we were talking about the Southeast. A lot of competitors who normally compete in Florida taking the chance to seize the day in North Carolina. And obviously, Micah, one of them. Here we go. The steps, very, very solid. They barely moved under his weight. Ooh, interesting.
Nice. I'm liking the quick match energy. Okay, interesting dismount there from Micha. Here he moves, age 8. Here he goes, moving his way onto the laches here. How is he going to fare? He's going to start linking stuff. Wants to get a bit more swing in the middle of it all. Now he's gone uniform with it. This is very good timing here. We've got 20 seconds left. He's going to get hurried up by his coach, Michael Johnson. Here he moves, Micha Leopold. Going to climb his way up to the top of the warped walls here as he gets to the buzzer with 12 seconds left, coming in 3rd place. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, our competitors really starting to trim the margins here. Just 0.25 seconds separating 2nd and 3rd place. Very, very tight competition given the circumstances. But now we move on to our 3rd to last competitor coming out of Woodstock, Georgia, Atticus McDonald. Oh, yeah, and this is a competitor who's coming out of Michael Johnson's gym. Can tell by the same attire. Oh, we skipped the platform!
Oh, unfortunate there. You could see. Almost had it. Let's have a look at that again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just tunnel vision. Tunnel vision it looked like.
His foot was to the left of that starting platform, and on a challenge, or not on a challenge course, pardon my English, on a placement course, I believe you cannot skip a platform. You can't skip a platform on any course, actually. That's a starting platform allocated. But Atticus, as we're seeing here, a very, very capable athlete. Just a simple mistake. Hopefully we'll see what he's made of when the challenge course comes, when he will likely be the first runner.
You can see our kids are very eager to go on these courses. He nearly went for the middle wall there with the ring hanging down. That's a very solid move that I admire a lot. But regardless, Atticus McDonald sadly going to be one of the first people, as you say, on the challenge course later on. It comes down to how our final 2 competitors come along on this Premier Series course out here in Carolina Ninja Academy. First of which is going to be Carter Lewis, coming out of Candler, North Carolina. Competed 13 times. Very ready to go. Let's see if we can get a new fastest time coming into our placement course runs.
Yeah, Carter, a very experienced competitor when it comes to things here in Ninja. Experience, honestly, is key in Premier Series. Honestly, I admire our young athletes for being so dedicated, because when I was their age, Ninja was a blip in the radar.
Gonna be a big one here. One of the final few kid runners of our placement course out here for the Premier Series competition in North Carolina. Bounding across the Sonic curve. Nice jump there coming along down. Gonna grab some momentum moving on to that slider. The tricky steps that haven't posed a problem for Carter.
Okay, yeah. A whole lot of different evasive maneuvers on showcase through the monkey bars. Now, Carter running across the entire gym floor. He takes on the laches, and we've seen a lot of techniques too here, Billy.
Here we go. Nice.
Oh!
Okay, one-handed save. Lovely stuff there from Carter Lewis. You can see there, still a bit shooketh from that moment, but he's going to carry on. He's got 10 seconds left. This is going to be one of the closest ones we've seen, Kane. It's so close.
Oh, come on, get up that wall, find the ring, he's up, but the climb up, that's where the time can burn! Whoa!
Just
My
under
gosh!
a second left, 0.5 seconds flat to the buzzer on the end of that course there. Only a bit of time left, 0.5 seconds there. That was insane. Really made up for it for those first few links. That one-handed save was a scary moment as well as the ending to this run, but he made it. And that's what counts. Impeccable clear.
Yeah, it really kept us on our toes that whole time. But now, our only competitor in this division from South Carolina, this is Riker Nash. He says he's good at math, loves his family, loves ninja and parkour, and that should be very helpful on this placement course. Leaps and bounds through the Sonic curve. Quick start here, Billy.
Indeed, so he's got a lot of energy powering along through his foot in the center of all of those blocks. He's got around 40 seconds as he comes along through to these monkey bars, swaying back and forth to see if he can keep that momentum going, and a very large jump onto the ending platform. Now he's going to sprint to the other side of the gym, ready for these laches.
All right, yeah, the upper body put to the test has a lot of length to his frame, though. 4'7" wingspan, definitely one of the bigger ones in this field. And he's utilizing it to find these bars. So far, so good, but time is ticking.
Big moments here.
No!
No! Is he fall?
Oh, he fell back.
It's just that plane. He didn't have any forward motion coming onto that box. And sadly, that's going to be it for Riker's run. Our final competitor on the placement course, just coming up short there. Oh, he thought he had it. He needed to pass through the forward plane on that obstacle just a bit further, and then he would have had it. But regardless, that is going to be it for our placement course. We have got our fastest competitor, our fastest competitor being our first runner in the kids male division in Jonathan Bowden. Coming out here, 41.18 seconds. Absolutely insane stuff there. But Atticus McDonald with that misstep coming into the Sonic Curve, sadly going to be the first competitor in the male division. Well done to our female competitors as well. Have a look at them. We had Eliza coming in with our fastest time, furthest with 49.26 seconds to the laches. But Amelia Seiko going to be our first competitor after the break on our challenge course. It's going to be fun. Kane, how are we feeling?
Yeah, this was a very peculiar placement course. Very rarely do we see the cardio challenge on this placement course, you know, part of the Premier Series qualifiers. So to see that and to see the pace get pushed to such an overwhelming extent amongst our kids was very exciting. You know, Kevin laid out a pretty super great groundwork. I stumbled on my words, but whatever. We will be moving into the challenge course, which will be the ultimate test for our kids. Of course, for our kids female, that won't be super high stakes, but still, you want to win. That's what matters.
Indeed, so we're going to be seeing all of these kids be taking on the challenge course after the break. Everybody will be back in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab chalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slab Chalks.
Here at Stage 4 Designs, we are all about innovation and athlete safety. We've been doing this since 2015, designing the most innovative obstacles in the sport, and now with our partnership with the World Ninja League, we are very excited to bring some of our best designs to the highest level athletes in the world. For our process, it all kind of starts right here in our digital design. There's a much more deliberate process now in what we do, with our goal being the utmost in athlete safety. So we put everything into our digital design first, make sure it's all gonna work, then we procure the parts. We learned the process and refined it to what we feel are some of the highest quality urethane products you're gonna find in the Ninja space. And that all happens here at our custom built workbench. A lot goes into our urethane, and we are very proud of the work that we do there. Everything that we build here at Stage 4 is all custom made in-house. It's not like we have a stock of a bunch of stuff. So when you do place an order with us, that order comes through and we basically build everything from scratch. Paint department is scalable. We basically hand paint most things, but some things that require a little bit more spray or bigger, we're capable of that as well. These athletes put these obstacles through some of the most rigorous circumstances that you could think of, and we want to try to plan for every contingency. We never want an obstacle to break on anybody. We always want our stuff to feel solid and not move around a whole lot, so that the athletes can trust their skills to throw the biggest moves that they possibly can on anything that we put out there. Our CNC machine handles all of most of our flat goods. It's the workhorse around here. It actually does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of cutting things out. We don't do any of our flat goods by hand. We make sure that everything is exactly the same and replicable, so that, you know, if you're doing courses or you have athletes that are going either head to head or the same obstacle that you're gonna find at one Ninja gym is gonna feel exactly the same if you go to another Ninja gym or your home for that matter, so that there's consistency with all of our product. Over the years, as we've added to our suite of products that we offer, we realized that pipe and metalworking is becoming more and more commonplace in Ninja obstacles, and to meet that demand, we've added the ability to do that here as well. So a lot of the obstacles that you'll see that we design and develop are meant to go on truss, and pipes are a big part of that. So we've added a pipe bending station here, and look for, in the future, us to offer a lot more innovative obstacles that kind of exist in that space where pipes are a big part of it. So here, everything that we put out is tested by real ninjas before it goes out. We want to make sure that our obstacles can stand all sorts of unforeseen circumstances. We know that Ninja athletes move in ways that are innovative and new, and we want to try to account for as many of those as we can and make sure that those obstacles hold up. So we test everything. Over the last 10 years, Stage 4 Designs has been committed to developing the most innovative obstacles that you're going to find, but also the safest and most reliable obstacles. Our motto here is elevating obstacles. We do feel that on this platform, we can take something that's both fun and creative, but also elevate it to an industry that deserves to stand on its own.
No worries. What up? Oh, I know, but I thought like. Hi everybody, welcome back to the WNL Premier Series Season 4 qualifier out here in North Carolina for the Carolina Ninja Academy qualifier. We just wrapped up our placement course. Kane, how are we feeling?
It was a unique placement course, to say the least. Given the elements that we typically don't see every day in a placement course, yeah, it was super varied in its results as well. We saw no kid female finishers. Even for our kid male competitors, it was deemed to be a problem for many. But we go into the challenge course. We have a lot of obstacles here.
Yeah, exactly. The obstacle names as well, they are very telling as well. One of them is called Gravity is Real. I think that was kind of apparent to start out, but at the same time, I'm very excited to see what they're all going to be like. We have blocks being the starting obstacle. I can only imagine that they're what we see in front of us, unless I'm completely wrong. We have Around the World in Holds, Don't Touch My Blocks, The Elite Killer, Picking Fruit, Cliffs, Gravity is Real, Balance Maze, Swoop Talk, Skyhooks, and Are You Tired Yet? I would imagine that everyone would be tired at the end of that very long course. 11 obstacles. This is the first time I think I've seen an 11 obstacle long course. It's always been either 10, 12, or 15, never 11. So it's interesting to see what we're going to be having soon enough on this challenge course. Cannot wait for it.
Yeah, usually we see placement courses that tend to be a little bit of the same flavor. You know, you have your laches, you have your monkey bars, you have your fast balance. It was a little bit different here, but in the challenge course, this is where the real personality and flair of the gym is displayed.
Indeed, so we got a lot of space that can be used out here. We already saw in the placement course they had a lot of different ways to go around the entirety of this course. A lot of running in between the set as well, from one part of the gym to another. We have 4 kid females that are going to be going first. I'm seeing turbo rolls. Kane, I'm seeing turbo rolls.
Yep, that is the Elite Killer. The accursed turbo rollers are back.
Oh, I thought we escaped them. Brill. Actually, to be fair, after Worlds 2024, we didn't escape them all that much because they're on the discipline circuit in 2025 for the tech course. But we still have them here. Still too long. Come on, man. Really? We had to bring them back. But I'm excited to see how these kids are able to adapt and how fast they're gonna roll for the elites, man. Are they all gonna be free? I'm really scared now.
They were all free for the elites way back in its heyday. I think they'll be locked for our kids, though.
I'd hope so. I don't want everyone to be massacred by the 4th obstacle out here. I want it to be a consistent flow throughout all of these obstacles. All these kids have a lot of effort to put in that I'm really hoping that they get to show off in a good light out here. All the way from blocks, our first obstacle, to Are You Tired Yet? Our 11th obstacle. There's a long way to go to the buzzer, and I can't wait to see what it all looks like. But those turbo rolls, man. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that will be the big takeaway. We should be getting into a demo run soon, but there's 10 other obstacles in tow here. So surely there's more at stake than just a few simple pseudo PVC rollers.
Yeah, I'm looking at the distance here. I think Around the World in Holds might be where that... Is that an axe? Like a big Thor-looking hammer of some kind? That might be one of the holds there. That's definitely possible. Don't Touch My Blocks.
It's hard to
The
know.
Elite
We'll
Killer, man.
we'll find out.
Yeah, time will come in just a moment to see. Thank you guys all for watching as well. We have a lot more competitions to be looking forward to throughout the entirety of this Premier Series, not only just this weekend, though. Cannot wait to see everyone out here. Next week is probably going to be the biggest qualifier yet, I believe. Vitality Obstacle Fitness in Massachusetts, which is also where our Premier Series finals are at Ascend in Marlborough. Vitality is going to go absolutely insane. Then we take a week off. And then we have True Function Ninja Training Ground in the UK, Life Force Ninja in Washington, Dexterity Depot, Pennsylvania, District 44 in France, Albany Ninja Lab in New York, FitSet Ninja in Canada, M Lab, Ohio, and the Ascend Obstacle Training Finals in Massachusetts. I cannot wait for it. We're so close to getting there now. I cannot wait for finals. It's going to be a very good time. But we have 8 kids at the maximum and minimum that are going to be able to move on through to the finals, because we've got actually, hang on. In terms of the females out here, we have 4 female competitors, meaning that all of them have to get past the 3rd obstacle if they want a spot in the Premier Series finals out here. Because there aren't as many females, they're going to have to do that, because none of them can get knocked out, if you get what I mean. But on the male side of things, we have more of them, more than 4, so they have to battle it out for those top 4 spots in order to get through to the Premier Series finals at Ascend. And I guarantee you a lot of these guys are going to be gutting for that top spot.
Yeah, that's true. We have 8 in the kids' male division as well, I'm pretty sure. So what it's going to come down to is that you don't want to be on the wrong side of the coin. There's going to be 4 moving on and 4 that aren't going to make it into the Premier Series finals. So you don't want to be one of the unlucky 4. You want to be one of the 4 to clinch their spot.
It's going to be a big one out here. Cannot wait. 12 competitors, 4 females, 8 males. Starting out with our slowest result on the placement course, which is going to be Amelia Seku out here. She's going to be running first. But before that, we're going to be having a look at our demo run very shortly to see what all of these guys are actually going to be up against in the grand scheme of things. I'm very intrigued to see, especially what the back half of this course is, because I think we've dissected what the vast majority of the obstacles in the first half are going to be, but the final few, it's going to be interesting. I'm expecting the big airbag area to be used quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, you can't just have that and then not use it. I'm sure it'll be very prominent feature in this challenge course, because again, the gym's most prominent aspects typically get showcased in a course like this.
Indeed, so we see some balance, we see some grip, we see some endurance, and we see some time management. The time limit's going to be a big one to see soon enough as well, because I remember last week over at Austin, the challenge course was only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long in terms of time limit. So it was very difficult to move along each of the obstacles fast. But I'm excited to see what can be achieved out here in another gym in Carolina. Going to be a very fun time. Cannot wait to see what things are about. Looks like we're moving on to the demo, and actually this is what it's going to be moving along here. So this looks like Around the World in Holds out here. Moving along through.
Is that hammer?
Yep, that hammer. Yeah, it looks like a hammer being utilized. And then Don't Touch My Block. Oh, I get it. It's like Coconut Climb, but you have to stay out of bounds. Right, okay. So our athletes moving along the top frame out here, but their body parts cannot touch any of the 2 blue blocks that are looming underneath them. So it looks like some core grip is going to be used in that one as well to try and keep your legs out of things. The Elite Killer is next. The turbo rolls being introduced. It looks like they're pretty still for our kids, which is nice to see. Picking fruit coming along, some banana holds out here. A lot of big swinging out here. If the time limit is quite cruel, then we might be seeing some intense back swings and front swings there on that one. Cliffs is next. Moving along here, we have some cliffhangers after some bars being utilized. We can see on the right side of our screen here that they are all moving along there.
It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, gravity is real, though. What's this going to be? Moving along onto oh, it's up for grabs. Okay, gravity seemingly is real out here. So let's have a look. We have some 2 rings that you're going to be swinging onto to then go to. It looks like an up for grabs bar.
No, it's just in the cradle, I think, but
Oh,
it
right,
swings.
it just popped out. Yeah, okay. I like it. There's some opportunities for links in that as well, which I'm excited to possibly see. Balance maze out here. I'm really not a fan of rails like this. You have barely any control, but it seems like our kid demo runner definitely does. But now, moving along into swoop to. Oh my goodness!
Oh, you have to pull it in as well. That's fun.
That's cruel. That's not fun. What are you talking about? That's time wasting. Our competitors really are going to have to get here with a lot of time left if they want to come on through. And then a TikTok afterward. Are you mad? Right, okay. A lot of momentum coming along through into the TikTok. Seems like they're going to be using a trapeze, or maybe not out here. Yeah, trapeze being used. Lovely stuff.
You usually don't see that sort of element, though. That's what I think is very interesting, is that we don't see that where you have to reel it in. And I think that's a little interesting and unique. I don't think we've seen that on a challenge course all season, or even the season before.
We have our skyhooks obstacle now. These are big hoops out here. Kids are just going to have to lâcher to the hooks, though. It looks like these are big hoops, though. They have a lot that you need to take control of. Interesting. Okay, so there are like 4 rings, 3 big ones, it looks like. And then our final obstacle is, are you tired yet? Which looks like it's going to... Okay. I can definitely see some tech be... Oh, what? Okay, hold on. It's going to be a rope climb?
Oh, this is like the gauntlet rope. Interesting. Yeah. For those who remember...
Back.
Yeah, it's kind of taut, so you have to climb up. It's kind of a weird angle. Ooh, this is interesting. Usually when we see a rope climb, the end is usually not cinched like this.
This is really odd here, but I'm a fan of it. When you are really going to be tired after this. You're going to be hanging for a while, and then you have to do a big rope climb to the buzzer that's looming above. Wow. I'm a fan of this. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen for our kids, but more importantly, what might be happening later on, because we have 5 more divisions coming in throughout this entire weekend that I'm really excited for. Do we have a schedule that we can possibly whip up quickly so we can see what's going to be coming up later on for the entirety? Yes. Okay, so later on we're going to be having the mature kids run at 1 p.m. Everything out here is in Eastern time. The preteens are going to be coming along at 5 p.m. then as well. And then for the Sunday, which is going to be insane, we have the teens, amateurs, and elites. On the teen side, they're going to be starting at 9 a.m., amateurs at 1 p.m., and the elites at 4:30 p.m., which I'm very, very excited to see all of them competing out here throughout the entirety of this weekend. All of them taking on both the placement course and the challenge course, and I'm really excited to see what this challenge course has to offer for all of these guys. Yeah,
that's true. We have a lot of competitors coming up between the here and the now. Obviously, the power couple, Megan Budway and Flip Rodriguez, going to be in the amateurs tomorrow. And then elites, there's a few I recognize, the Hones from Level Up. But we'll get there when we get there. The kids have a very, very tall order set for them, don't they?
Indeed, they do. Quite literally tall, as they have to go from to the top of the gym, basically, at the end of the challenge course, which is really, really tough. It reminds me of the elite division from Motus Ninjas last year, because I remember Tyler Smith, he was hooked into an invisible ladder at the end of the challenge course. This very much reminds me of that. It's going to be a tight one. The time limit is going to be very cruel, I think, possibly. We'll see when our first competitor, Amelia, comes along through, what the time limit's going to be for our course out here. I cannot wait to see how things are going to go for our athletes, though, and what the precedent is going to be set first off with our first competitor, Amelia. Has a big responsibility out here.
Yeah, it tends to be cruel, the time limit in general with a lot of challenge courses, but 3:45, I want to say?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
3:45. Interesting. It's going to be a long one. These kids are really going to be in for an upper body treat. it looks like, especially with obstacles such as this one out here with Around the World in Holds.
Yeah, but our
Very
kids
different.
do know how to hang. A dead hanging is kind of their forte, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. They are very light in comparison to such divisions as our teens and our amateurs and elites. So they definitely have an advantage, especially on this obstacle out here where some of their smaller heights might be advantageous when they need to avoid these blocks in the middle here. But they need to tuck in their cores and their legs to try and traverse that top bar without touching those blue out of bounds blocks.
Yeah, might need to utilize the feet. That's what she intends to do on that upper bar. But from here, the transition to that downward sloping section, that is something to look out for, because if the feet cut, they're going to be heading straight for that block. Amelia manages to keep contact the whole time, and from there, she is the first one in 2 years to face the turbo rollers.
Here we go, and she's cleared it successfully. Lovely stuff there from Amelia. Now she's coming along in to another grippy obstacle, picking fruit, where we have some banana holds that we're going to be hanging on to out here. Trying to take a good grip on all of them. They're a weird hold because they are quite curved, but regardless, Amelia able to come along through onto cliffs.
Yeah, Cliff's the name of the game that she is playing. Got a hook onto the back end. Of course, being smaller, those fingers do have a lot more room to cut into. But also with that frame, makes those long reaches a little harder to bridge. Amelia, though, makes good work of it. Just about halfway done with the course and has a minute 35, making good time.
This is where the pump might be setting in, though. She's been hanging for a while on many obstacles, and she's going to carry on doing that when it comes into Gravity is Real out here. Got a few bars she needs to traverse over. Some of them will spin as well, particularly the salmon ladder bar, but she has no problem with it as Amelia now comes into the balance maze. Going to be very, very precise coming into it. Very careful and coming along onto the box. Lovely, but now we're getting high out here. Moving along onto the very sky high, very big hanging, different holds that we're seeing out here with the swoop top being first. Part of me wonders on this real part if you could just reel it out not fully and just kind of jump up to it if you really wanted to. But staying... Ooh, okay, keeping hold of it to try and reel it in. Nice idea. But here goes Amelia out here. Moves onto that ring. Gets a big reach. As she misses the second one, but the TikTok is swinging now. Okay, reels herself in. Okay, I like it. Interesting techniques here. Needs to be careful to not bash herself into the platform. How's she going to try and avenge this? She's been hanging for a while. The pump is really settling in.
I was about to say, losing the swing caused her and the TikTok to go out of sync. Got a little weird. 12 seconds, though. These obstacles... These final few take a while to get through. She can still get this point, though, but with 3 seconds, I don't think it's going to be enough for the skyhooks.
Oh, sadly, time just runs out for our first competitor, Amelia. Still a very, very good job. You could see that going across the turbo rollers with a lot of dexterity and had a lot of control. No retries used either, which is great to see, but still... just didn't have enough speed throughout the entirety of the course to get further into it. But I guarantee you, gonna see it in the Premier Series finals. Cannot wait. She's definitely one to watch out for as we now move on to our next competitor in the kids female division. It's gonna be Brookley Beaver.
Yeah, Brookley coming off the coattails of that run. We're seeing yet another instance of a challenge course that is going to be a problem in regards to the time limit. Brookley, though, up and over the first obstacle, not going to be a problem. And, what happened there? Oh, no, yeah, she went the wrong direction.
Oh, mate, that's unfortunate. Not a place where you want to use your first retry out here on the first obstacle. But Brookley's going to concentrate, get back into the flow of things, coming along through. Doesn't want to make the same mistake twice, and she does not. Now she wants to be making up time. I can see the sense of urgency, the pace that she's setting, really going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, after our first runner, which was a little more gingerly in how she moved, but still very efficient, I think it's important in the back of their minds that they gotta go quick and not use many retries here if they can help it.
This is good so far from Brookley. Hanging in the branches, making good time out here as well. Trying her best to avoid the box. Okay, you can see her took her legs forward. Interesting stuff, adapting on the fly. She makes it past, setting herself up for the balance. Turbo rolls, a bit of a slower approach, but she still made it through as she now moves into the picking fruit.
Yeah, these banana holds, I would say they are a little more forgiving on the hands than a nunchuck or whatever, but you usually don't see a blue banana out there. They're usually yellow or green when they're not ripe. Brookley, still not bad. 2:15, quite a bit ahead of Amelia. That's what we wanted to see, especially given the circumstances of Amelia's run. No retry spent, and still didn't make it through in time. But Brookley, this is her time to shine.
Makes the grab up there. Straight armed. I can't tell if she's pumped or if that's just the strategy, but the one-handed dismount seems like she's certain with how she's moving. This is very good. Gravity is real. It's going to be next up here that she's taking on right now. Here she goes, trying to set up herself to get some momentum to go up to that first bar, which she sadly misses out on. So she's going to have to take her second and final retry on our 7th obstacle.
Yeah, this is a tough situation. The first we're seeing of in this Carolina Premier Series qualifier. If you burn both your retries, you have to be perfect for the rest of your run. And yeah, she took it with a forward grip, which cannot be done on a spinning bar like this. Can she cross grip? Oh, yeah, and it spun out when she tried to static it.
Oh, that's going to be it for her. Brookley sadly accidentally dismounts throughout the obstacle there, and that is going to be it for her run. You can see a lot of perseverance there. Some one-handed saves, one-handed dismounts, and great adaptability overall. It just seemed like the gravity is definitely real, to say the least there. That obstacle name is not a lie. Definitely pulls you down when you don't necessarily want it to. But next competitor, our penultimate competitor in the kids' female division, going to be Macy Craig. This is her second year of competing in Ninja. She loves practicing with her teammates. Outside of Ninja, she does tap dance and loves math. She's going to try and solve this tricky equation to see if we can result in a buzzer.
Macy off to the races. She starts strong here through the first obstacle. Not bad at all. Of course, for our kids' female competitors, all they have to do is beat the third obstacle and almost grabs onto the eye bolt. Recollects herself on the platform, though, and can carry on here.
Here we go. 3 minutes and 20 seconds as she carries on moving through these holds. Very solid pace that she's setting within the obstacle. As she grabs the hammer, dismounting to then come along through into our next obstacle, which is Don't Touch My Blocks. Seems like this is a very big time killer, as a lot of your precious seconds can be used on this obstacle when you want to use them elsewhere.
Yeah, but you can gain a little bit of ground relative to your other competitors here. If you can scamper quickly through this coconut climb, I guess it's a little bit more of a metal jungle gym than one made of wood and plants and whatnot. But regardless, Macy going to slide her legs along using the upper body.
This is big out here. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Time is ticking, though. She's using up a lot of time compared to the rest of the field here. You can see she's trying to get some guidance out here. Needs to be careful with her legs.
Oh, a dab!
Down. Is she fine? That was so close, but unfortunately, she's going to have to give it another try as she touched down. Not the place where you want to use a retry, sadly.
Yeah, and she spent a lot of time up there. That's the double-edged sword to the retry system as well. Yes, it can absolutely give you another attempt on an obstacle. If you're near the end like that and you put a lot of work into that first attempt, it can be tough to bounce back from.
Here she goes again. She's probably going to want to move faster this time as well. Macy Craig, coming out of Davidson, North Carolina. She's going to try her best to come on through the rest of this obstacle. It's a tough one. You're going to be hanging for a long time. She's quite tall as well compared to the rest of the field, so it's going to be difficult for her to avoid those blocks a second time, especially when her muscles are going to be screaming at her at this point. She's fine though, and she just drops down. Unfortunately, her energy just runs out, and that is going to be it for Macy's run. She spent a long time on that one, and she just slipped down, couldn't have enough left in the tank, and that's going to be it. Still a very perseverance, great showcase of it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the coconut climb there. I wonder if your orientation when you're coming down there matters, because she was facing the opposite direction and she had to cut the feet to turn around. Maybe Eliza has picked up on that as our final kid female athlete. And
no, okay, first time out here, gonna have to utilize a different block or area in the course that we can't see, but she's made it through regardless. She was our first place finisher on the placement course, so a lot of people are going to be expecting big things from her. Here we go.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of it was kind of close on the placement course. A lot of close shaves. A lot of people made it to the final obstacle. In fact, I believe all but one made it to the final obstacle. Amelia, though, the only one to fail beforehand, is our first place run. So Eliza wants to bite into some of that success. Ooh.
Here she goes, trying to tuck her legs upward a bit, not utilizing them on the pole until now. Yeah, I think it's best to wrap them around, especially if you don't feel comfortable with tucking yourself in by just hanging for that long. But regardless, she's descending very quickly. This is great stuff at the minute, and now she's moving on to the turbo rolls in the fastest time so far.
Yeah, I gotta move quickly, kind of matching on those steps. Interesting, very, very brave out of Eliza. An obstacle that bit many athletes before in the discipline circuit as well. But Eliza trying to keep the ball rolling. Those bananas not proving to be much of a hindrance to her performance. And that actually does put her in the green. But now from here, these cliffs, very foreboding. I believe one of our shorter athletes. So it's going to be tough to ford the river here.
It's going to be a big moment for her. She's very creative, so hopefully she's able to find a solution towards this one. She's going to do a 180 grab, possibly.
Oh, no.
Just needs to... I thought she was going to skip the trapeze above there, but she's going to have to take her second and last retry because she used the first one on obstacle 1. But here she goes. She loves being outside, and she can spend hours in the woods, creek, or goat pasture just exploring and observing. She loves animals, both domestic and wild. Her family farm consists of a pony, donkeys are my favorite, horses, goats, livestock, guardian dogs, and many more. And she gets to the trapeze. Lovely stuff there from Eliza. Here she moves, getting to the bottom there. Lovely stuff.
Okay, Eliza trying to show up for, all her animals back at home. And she's been doing a pretty good job. However, she's in third place, got here slower than Brookley. So to get to a silver medal here, she's got to conquer the spinning bar. An element that gave Brookley a lot of trouble too. And you see why.
Yeah, you could see. Unfortunately, she's going to give herself more try. She's going to go back to the platform. Yes, she is. Okay. Going to shake out. It's a bit of a difficult spot now because both rings are swinging. But then again, that does allow for momentum to be gained right at the start. And she's utilizing that fact very well. 40 seconds. Is she going to try and jump up to the bar? Can she get it? Sadly, no. That's going to be it for Eliza's run. She tried very hard, but the smile on her face proves that she's happy with how she did. You could see matching the turbo rolls there. That was a difficult move there. And then the attempt on that 180 definitely paid off more as she pulled up, but it just looked like gravity is real took her out.
Yeah, I do like what she did on her sort of second go at it, where she lashayed to it with a cross grip, but the hands just couldn't hold on. Overall, though, is going to be enough for a third place time there. Going to take home a bronze medal. has a lot to be proud of. But that will do it for our kids female division. We're going to be moving into our kids male athletes now, starting with Atticus McDonald, a competitor who I'm very interested to see how he does here, given what happened on the placement course. Took a very, very early fall, one that was not necessarily one of technical mistake or physical inability, but rather not being able to step on the platform. So Atticus, we know he's a capable athlete.
You can see here he's moving very smoothly, very calmly as well. You can see he has a lot of trust in his one-handed swinging abilities. Let's see if Atticus is able to move on through this obstacle first time around. Don't touch my blocks is a very, very time-consuming one. We saw some of our females take a lot of time on this, but it looks like Atticus is trying his best to scramble up it in a sense, to just utilize as little time as possible. 2 minutes and 50 seconds as he's going to try and get himself towards the top of the obstacle now. Needs to be careful. Keeping it solid out here, which he's doing very, very well.
Yeah, but he led with the hands, so he's got to cut feet. He keeps it super close to the rig, though.
This is very good at the minute. Atticus McDonald on the descent now. This is the easier part. Needs to be comfortable dismounting, though, which he is on his way to doing. He's just having a bit of trouble getting down, keeping one leg on there for quite a bit of time, but he's made it. 2 minutes and 15 seconds as he dashes across the turbo rolls and sadly comes up short.
Yeah, what a tumble there. I believe the distance that you need to clear is that blue pit pillow. Going to go quick once again, and it pays off. Atticus makes it true on his second attempt. Now faces the bananas.
This is very, very good at the moment. Another very confident display of swinging, which is great to see out of our kids at such a young age. And he skips the final blue banana, which is mint. Here he moves, going to get up to the top platform and get himself focused and ready for the cliffs. This is going to be a difficult one. We've seen people have trouble with this, including our first place finisher in the female placement course. But Atticus not having a problem, moving along onto that trapeze and dismounts accordingly. 1 minute and 35 seconds coming in.
Yeah, talk about clean. That was what was shown there from Atticus. But this is a crux point. At least it was for our kids female athletes. Only one was able to get through it. But Atticus, when you have good grip, you can just cling on to that spinning bar and becomes our second to get through it overall.
This is great. You could see a lot of confidence in those links on the gravity is real obstacle. But now he's utilizing 4 bars technically, which is making himself very, very fast as he comes onto the sky rig with 1 minute left, 3 obstacles within it as he reels in the slider.
Yeah, sort of similar time constraints to what we saw from earlier. But yeah, you can't really let go of that fishing line, for lack of a better word, or it'll just go away. It's very, very frictionless. Perfect.
Very good for Atticus at the minute. He immediately went into that TikTok. Here he moves. He's got 30 seconds now. Wants to try and build up enough momentum. Do they even have a trapeze? Yes, they do. Okay.
Yeah, just
25 seconds.
Funny camera work.
Dismounting. Fair enough. 20 seconds now. Big skyhook moves out here. They're such big rings. They're very difficult to control, especially if you're a kid and you don't have a lot of mass on you. But 10 seconds left. Is he trying to build up the swing necessary to get onto it? Is he going to get that grab? Yes, he is, but time's just going to run out on him in the middle of that obstacle, and that is going to be it for Atticus' incredible run.
Yeah, our first guy up and makes it to the second to last obstacle. Nothing to scoff at. A strong opening statement for those to come. Wow, and he was able to one-shot most of the obstacles set in front of him. It was only the balance, which is the great equalizer of Ninja, so no harm, no foul. Just overall, what a performance.
Here we go now. We know what it can be like. But in order to get to that final obstacle, Aiden Dell, our next competitor, has got to rush through this course and take as little moves as he can to move on through here. And that goes for all of our kid male athletes, it looks like here. Aiden Dell going to try his best to pull along through here. Very solid, coming out of Willow Springs, North Carolina. going to move on through onto these holds now. Seeing some good grip. Going to take a backswing to get his hand on the obstacle as he wants fit. He's very, very solid at the moment. 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
Yep, so far so good, but it's not going to get any easier. This coconut climb, only going arms on that first bit. But here, this is going to be the test of awareness. What is he going to do here? Leading with the arms, we know what that means. He's going to have to cut the feet and keep that center of mass close to where he's hanging. Careful. Aiden steers clear of the fail plane.
You could see there a lot of power. He's got 31.5 seconds on Atticus at the minute. 36 now, basically. Let's see if Aiden Dell is able to pull through enough here. I like the pace, though. If he keeps this up, a clear might be on the cards for him. He was moving incredibly fast on the placement course up until his unfortunate early fall. So let's see if Aiden now is able to pull on through and get one of those top positions to possibly insert himself into the Premier Series finals very quickly.
Yeah, only one backswing. That's all he needs. But Aiden, matching on these cliffs, easy does it. Treating it like a walk in the park. Aiden, a clinic of a performance. But gravity is real. That is the moral of the story.
This is going to be a big one here. Is he going to link? Oh, yes, I like the pop-up that he had. Moving along into it. 1 minute and 50 seconds as he jumps down onto that swinging trapeze. As he moves on through to that salmon ladder bar and dismounts accordingly. Still keeping up a very good pace at the moment. 1 minute and 40 seconds as he comes along into these balancing beams here. Needs to keep his balance, but nice recovery utilizing the other side.
Okay, good. Aiden, the balance that plagued him in the placement course, he's not going to have to worry about balance for the rest of this challenge course. But these final 3 obstacles on their own each take up so much of your time. So he's got to keep moving here. Reels in the bar. It doesn't have a lot of friction, so it should just carry him along into that ring.
Yes, it does.
Smooth as butter.
Oh, he kept hold of that ring, so he was able to pull back on the TikTok and utilize little swings as possible, but he's getting a bit more momentum just to be safe. You can see he's got 55 seconds now as he's exiting the 9th obstacle, coming into skyhooks. This is the fastest pace by a mile we've seen today.
Yeah, that's true, but we've seen a lot of time get burned here in the form of these rings. While our kids are going to have a lot of trouble redirecting, their center of mass is closer to the ring. So if you use your core effectively enough, it might be doable. He's redirected pretty well as well, looking at that 3rd ring, and he's there!
Yes! Yes! Okay, this is big. He reaches out to that further ring, and with 16 seconds left, he's going to take a backswing and get onto the platform, but now he's got to sprint over to the final ascend here. 10 seconds left. I don't know if it'll be enough to get the full clear, but he's still going to try and get on through here. He leaves the platform with 5 seconds left, and he's very, very tired. It looks like, are you tired yet? Sadly, he is, and that's going to be it for our run there from Aiden. But my lord, that was impeccable.
Yeah, honestly, he didn't use a single retry. He left it all on the course. And still, it was the clock that proved to be a problem. Honestly, there are 11 obstacles on this challenge course, but perhaps the time limit is obstacle 12.
It absolutely is. We could see that he was moving so strong, so fast throughout every single obstacle, and he still didn't have enough time. I think he might have needed an extra 15, 20 if he wanted to get up that rope.
Yeah, I just wonder where that could be shaved off elsewhere in the course. Because, again, Aiden was moving pretty fast, but sometimes our athletes do surprise us here. When I think that maybe there's nothing to give, our competitors give.
Let's see, out of the 6 competitors we have left in our kid male division out here, let's see how far we can move through it. This is a very, very tough course. I'm a fan of it, though. It is a very, very interesting course to just watch, but it feels like in order to get a clear, our kids are going to have to pull out all of the stops and leave everything on the course possible, because links are going to have to be in play. They're going to have to go fast, possibly skip a couple of moves if they really want to, take as little backswings as possible. So let's see if our next competitor, Riker Nash, is able to move on through. He says that he is good at math, he loves his family, he loves ninja and parkour, and he enjoys being outside. His favorite obstacle is the ring slide, so it's definitely possible that Riker here, when he moves on to the swoop talk, that he's going to like that. But even then, low-hanging obstacles like this can definitely be up in his wheelhouse. Let's see how he can fare.
Yeah, I know he was dealing with an injury maybe late last year. Wasn't able to get back into Ninja until January, but now looks like he's moving at 100%, Billy.
Indeed, he is. He says that he wasn't able to compete in the fall since he broke his leg last September. It's nearly been a year since that, but he's still moving through, utilizing his lower body up on that top rail now. Moving at a good pace, though. Again, he is tall, so he needs to be careful with his legs. Got to be careful that they don't hit the bar.
Oh,
no! He just jolted off. Looked like a bit of a painful fall as well. I hope he's okay. Let's see how he can fare second time around.
Yeah, Riker representing Motive. Incredible facility. But he's got to climb up here. I noticed, yeah, he took a lot of jolt on those arms, and when it's sloped into kind of an inconvenient spot, it can be tough to hold on. Hopefully that lower body can come into play here, because just as important as your hands is your feet. This is a full body equation.
Here he moves, getting down to the bottom of that platform, and he's got it. But now he's got a bit of time to make up due to that quite late fall within the obstacle. Let's see how far Riker can move, coming along into the low-hanging fruits.
Yeah, that's true. I guess this is a bit of low-hanging fruit, so to speak. But from here, that's the final banana that he will need to utilize. Riker going toe-to-toe with cliffs. I know down there at Motive, they have some crazy cliff lines. Maybe that'll be something that's going to help him out here. Though I believe that these grabs are a little more opportune, especially for our kids. I don't see a lip, actually. It's a little more squarish. It's the jump to the trapeze that cost him his retry, though. And that's his final retry.
Needs to breathe. Be careful coming into these cliffs here. Gonna shake out. It looks like he's getting a bit tired, but he's still gonna concentrate and try his best within this cliff move here. Gets to that first trapeze, swinging over to the cliffs. They've got a bit of a lip on them, so he's able to dig his fingers in a bit, but even then, that help is only going to go so far when you are a tired athlete here. But Riker's still looking like he has a lot to give within it. Can he get up to that trapeze? He puts a lot of force on it, but his finger slips and he's down.
Yeah, just all the obstacles that came before it just kind of took their toll on Riker there. Just keep in mind, that's only the halfway point of the course. But everything that comes before it is super duper exhausting.
Indeed it is. You need to utilize basically every muscle that you have got moving along through each of the obstacles here. So let's see if we can see any more progress within the grand scheme of our courses with Carter Lewis coming out of Candler, North Carolina. He's competed 13 times throughout the season at age 7 for it. He's going to take a moment, regroup, just get himself ready for the course up ahead.
Yeah, this has been super pumpy, which I guess is what we tend to see oftentimes with challenge courses. Pumpy endurance rounds that often push the pace of our athletes. Oftentimes, what we see, I mean, our only finishers get through the challenge course without using a single retry, often more like a flow course in the grand scheme of things.
I think that mentality is the best way to go into it, though. If you go into it knowing that you in your mind have to go through each of the obstacles without falling once, then it might put a bit more pressure on you. But in my personal experience from running courses, it helps out because it makes me plan more thoroughly, and I'm pretty sure those kids that have coaches as well will definitely be going through these courses in their time before their runs, trying to plan out all of their moves, and Carter Lewis is trying his best to come along through here. Zooming in on an athlete here, keeping his legs away from those blocks, and he's still moving through at a solid pace there. 2 minutes and 40 seconds as he comes on through into turbo rolls.
Good pace so far. Ooh, the steps! Is that
he
enough?
fine?
No, I don't think it is.
No. Man, that was really, really close. That final step. It feels like these steps are a bit more further apart than these athletes are expecting. So they really have to bound all the way through, but no need for a trapeze that time. He's still moving through at a very good pace at the moment. 2 minutes and 25 seconds as he reaches out for these bananas.
Yeah, almost skipped the bananas. Actually got a little lost in the sauce, but Carter matching one at a time. That's about how you want to do it if you want to be smooth with it. Carter can't let up now. Just reaching halftime, halfway on this challenge course. And he's trying to do everything in one continuous move, shave off as much time and as much burnt energy as he feasibly can. And yeah, one arm swing off that final cliff will take him to Gravity is Real. A challenging obstacle, but one that hasn't given many of our kids' male athletes trouble.
Let's see how he can fare coming along. He's opting to only use one ring, though, as he reaches out to that spinning bar. You need to put your thumbs around it, it looks like, on the underside, not just your hands, to have a firm grip. You can see he's got that grip now, but he needs to be careful. Control the bar as it's tilting back and forth as he comes onto this trapeze. Gets the grab carefully, though, as he takes another thumb round grab onto that salmon ladder bar and dismounts accordingly. He's got 1 minute and 5 seconds coming into balance.
Yeah, the balance maze, but the path forward is very, very clear. Can go on those double stacked rails. The arm wiggles.
Careful.
That was close.
Here he goes. Yeah, good save there from Carter as he now moves 50 seconds left as he comes on into the swoop talk. This is going to be a big one here as he's up high in the air, swinging along through. He's going to reel it in. This is also just a time waster in general, trying to pull it on through, but it's not our athlete's fault. It's just how the course is. But he gets on it, keeping hold of that rope until he's got hold of that trapeze as he slides down.
Yeah, you have to work for this amusement park ride. Carter Lachey, interesting. Kind of reminiscent of the old Double Dipper.
Here he goes. The TikTok is going back and forth ever so slightly. He's going to try and swing to it even when it's further away, but time's ticking. Can he get up this obstacle within 5 minutes? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Just too much of a time. Oh, yeah, it was seconds one. It's so close there. Still a very, very solid run there from Carter. This course is really testing our kids' speed.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he took one retry here, but overall, he was moving pretty quick. I don't know. What will it take for our kids to break through here? What will it take for a buzzer to be clenched? That is the question we're asking here, with 4 athletes remaining.
In order for these guys to get a buzzer, they need to have their plan thought out before they run the course, because it looks like they're still trying to look at the obstacles whilst they're at the start line, and that can waste seconds and it adds up. So it's possible. So I think as well as that, just the time it takes in between obstacles to fully get set up, you need to plan every single last detail before your run. Let's see if Liam Gibson, the 4th, is able to pull on throughout here. He trains out of NYX Training Center in Woodstock, Georgia, under Coach MJ. When he's not training Ninja, he loves reading, listening to music, playing games, and practicing his magic skills. So let's see if Liam is able to pull one out of the hat here.
All right, Liam, the second obstacle, just kind of an obstacle where you can fall into your own pace, get through to the beat of the drum. Liam, looking at this coconut climb. up he goes very quickly as well. I don't think we've seen anyone go up that ascending section quite as quick as he did it. But now the crossover in the descending section. This is where it gets awkward. Got to keep the legs up. He's taller
the foot
and
tap.
dabs.
That was so close. But in all fairness, he was moving quite quickly throughout the obstacle until that point. So if he's able to keep going at that pace and push himself, but just be extra careful as he's going above that block, then he might be okay.
Yeah, that's true. The retry system, this is what it's for. On a flow course, you wouldn't be given this mercy, but here has a chance to redeem himself. Hopefully knows to not cut the feet as early. Yeah, going right to the end and barely leaves his feet hanging for long.
That's the way it's supposed to be done as he takes a massive backswing down, taking large strides on the turbo rolls, underbars that trapeze, but he knows he has to make up time. So that's why he's trying to go through these obstacles as fast as he can. Just taking a bit of a backswing there. You can see time management incredibly important within this course. Even though he's taken only one retry, he's got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go throughout the rest of these obstacles. He's currently in 4th place, and from Liam's run out here, we're going to be locking in people for the Premier Series final. So after this run, it's either going to be Liam Gibson or Aiden Dell going into the Premier Series finals.
Yeah, but Liam, right now it's imperative that he keeps moving. So far, very efficient. Tried to find a cliff that wasn't there, but Liam, luckily the dismount platform was right there.
This is good. Liam Gibson going to run on in to these rings to try and get some momentum. You can see trying to get the thumbs over, getting a bit more secure within each of these bars. He's going to take the back grab and lovely stuff. 1 minute and 20 seconds coming along into the balance rails.
No!
Out here. No! Just slips off, sadly. Final retry now. This is a big moment for Liam.
Yeah, I was concerned about the foot placement, but at the very least, there is a silver lining. He didn't burn a lot of time, so does have enough. Was very, very close to falling off with that left foot, but all in all, he can keep on here. These final 3 obstacles, though, burn a lot of time, and he's about 30 seconds down on what Aiden had to this point. So, I don't know. It's going to be tough, but he's gaining quite a bit of ground on the leaderboard.
This is going to be big here, and sadly just misses the grab on the ring, and that's going to put Liam in 3rd place. Sadly, that was a good attempt, though. You can see, I think, just the foot tap on his first attempt on Don't Touch My Blocks was the decision maker there, because he was hanging for quite a bit before that, and you could see throughout his run, he was trying his best to go faster throughout the course there, because it really demands it. Again, our top 25% of all athletes, they are the best of the best, and these courses ask a lot of the athletes, but still a very good effort from everyone who has ran so far, including Liam, who just went. But now we're moving into our final 3. We have Misha Leopold going to be our next competitor coming out of Orange Park in Florida. Here we go. Are we going to be seeing a clear here? We'll have to see very shortly.
Yeah, the plan of attack, hopefully changing amongst our final 4 competitors. The final 4 in any premier. Oh no! Immediate retry on the first obstacle.
I wonder what's behind there. Because a lot of people have gone out on that area and used up a retry.
Yeah, it's hidden in the shadows, but regardless, no harm, no foul. Just a couple seconds left on the table. Hopefully he can salvage it. But regardless, finds Thor's hammer, if you want to call it that. And now, oh no, he skipped an obstacle there. Come on, go find that coconut climb.
To be fair, I'd skip the obstacle if I had the opportunity to by a mile, especially this one. But Misha here, he's got his high legs ready to go scurrying across it, but it's just the feet. Be careful on his backswings, but he's so fast coming into it. That retry that he had to use first time around on that obstacle was really, really not going to set him back. He's still 8.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, going straight in. This is what we like to see, some progression in the speed as we go along through. We're getting into our fastest finishes on placement course as well. So we can see our athletes really using a lot of power as they move on through these obstacles.
Yeah, only a few milliseconds separating our top finishers, bear in mind. So these cliffs beckon for our competitors here. He finds the trapeze a much more forgiving grab than what comes before it. And now from there, Micah facing gravity is real. Again, hasn't given too many of our kids a lot of trouble. Looks like that's fizzled out since our kid's female. But the bar cannot be overlooked. You got to get a good cross grip, grabbing very widely as well, shoulder width.
This is good though. Micha here, he's moving at the fastest pace so far, and if he carries it on, he'll be in the Premier Series finals. This is very good for him. Moving across the balance here. Seems like he has a lot of control in the final half of that obstacle, but he's now got over 100 seconds coming into these last 3 obstacles. This is very good time, Kane. There's potential.
Yeah, a lot of aggression through the balance maze will net him 4 extra seconds up on Aiden. However, these final 3 obstacles take an eternity to get through.
This is very, very good at the moment. Ooh, you can see he's trying to match the tick, but it's going the opposite way each time, but he still pulls up enough force to match it when it's not at the optimal place. Coming along into that trapeze, trying to keep as much momentum going. Nearly wanted to dismount there one more time, and he's good. 2 more obstacles left. He's in the Premier Series finals. He's in 2nd place. Let's see how he can do coming along into these big skyhook jumps.
Yeah, nice pullback with the ring, but the grip gives.
This is where our athletes are really starting to feel it, though. They've been hanging on many obstacles for a while, and the pressure of being up high in this airbag part is really, really going to test our athletes. But he's chalking up, wants to try and get a better shot at it, though.
Yeah, looks like we need to reset the obstacle, though, and this is giving him a lot of time to rest as well, because while the obstacle is being reset, the clock is frozen. So that's time to breathe, focus up. Micah, here we go. Attempt number 2. His retries are both gone. He's out of options. He's got to move forward. Not give up here.
This is going to be big here. 35 seconds making the grab onto that tiny ring. This is harsh here, but Micha's still going to move.
No way!
Made him slip out. And he's down, sadly, but still an incredible run, really setting the pace for what is needed coming into those final few obstacles. He was doing insanely well throughout the middle portion.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there, he led with his feet onto the descending section, and that gave him a lot of time. That and going absolutely ballsy there, super fast through the balance maze. I love the correction as well with the TikTok, where he kind of launched himself onto the TikTok, which allowed him to carry a lot of swing into the trapeze. So very, very interesting. That will be sufficient to move on to the Premier Series finals, but still 2 competitors left, no finishers on the challenge course. But Anthony Price may be our guy.
Penultimate athlete here, Anthony Price, coming out of Winterville, North Carolina. Having a look at what is left out of our challenge course out here. I like the perspective we're getting on those steps there. We know what it's about now. Anthony, though, oh no, just messed up a tiny second bit there on the first obstacle. Needs to calm himself down a tiny bit. Let's see how far he can move.
Okay. Simple mistake, but that is what the retry system is for. Yeah, I'm only now noticing that the touch point to end the first obstacle is kind of far away from where the course starts. So, kind of a long obstacle in the grand scheme of things. Anthony, though, we know he can make it up. He was our 2nd fastest finisher on the placement course. So, climbing up he goes on this coconut climb. I guess it's more of a truss than a coconut climb. And also, I believe our kids would not know what a coconut climb is. I believe they weren't even born, our younger athletes, when that was a thing.
Yeah, true, actually. Don't say that. I feel really old now. But regardless, Anthony coming along through. He's got 2 minutes and 45 seconds as he makes the dismount. No retry needing to be used on that very long obstacle. Moving on the turbo rolls, not a problem. Moving very efficiently. I'm liking it. Let's see how he can move coming into these banana holds. Just trying to get a re-grab on that second one. But he's still moving through very, very good. He's going to take a backhand approach on that final banana as we now get halfway through into this course. No chalk needed as he goes straight into cliffs.
Yeah, Anthony trying to get as much ground up as he can. A good backswing necessitates the swing for the trapeze, and he is out of there. But gravity is real with 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Still 15 seconds down on Aiden or perhaps Micah's pace. So he's got to move here.
Anthony Price, he's got a solid grip on that bar. Just under 2 minutes now as he moves along through into the rest of the holds here. Nice solid dismount here. Anthony gonna take a more careful approach coming into balance. Needs to regroup himself whilst he has 2 feet on different poles. Utilizing the more deeper routes there, but now 1.5 minutes. This is a solid pace. We just saw Micha get to this point with a lot of time, and Anthony isn't that far behind here, so he's reeling in that slider. Is he going to opt in for some chalk? No, he's not. Going to go straight in. He knows the time that he has to get to if he wants to get a buzzer on this course. This is big for Anthony. Gets both of those rings.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, hopefully he can kind of shave off as much time as he can. Chalking would only add to that detriment. Going to get a good backswing and gets off of there quicker than Micah, bear in mind. So here we go. The ring swinging in kind of a weird direction. He tries to go for a skip to the red one.
Okay, it's possible. That is absolutely doable. We could see he had his fingers in there, but I don't think he fully committed to it. No more retries after this on any obstacle. Let's see how Anthony can fare. He's chalking up. Knows that he has to get this move. Can he get it? He's in the Premier Series finals, but this glory is definitely going to be a big factor.
Yeah, I believe... What's he going to do here? Is he going to go for the skip? He looks like he's eyeing it up again. If he makes it, he may have the time,
No!
but he can't hold on. Anthony!
That might have been it. That might have been the one, because if you jump to that second ring that he skipped, it's a long time you need to spend regrouping yourself and getting your swing straight. But Anthony might have set up a beta break for the rest, for the final athlete in our kids male division, as well as the rest of the athletes throughout the entirety of this weekend. So well done to Anthony. But we have one more competitor left. The one opportunity we have for a clear in our kids male division left now. It's going to be Jonathan Bowden, coming out of Greenville, North Carolina. 6 times he's competed throughout the regular season. Our fastest finisher on the placement course from earlier. Challenge course, though, a different beast. Let's see how we can fare.
Yeah, kind of a book note competitor. He started out the kids male division in the placement course, and he's going to be the one to finish it out right here on the challenge course. So up he goes. I believe he had quite some distance between him and second place when it came to him and the other finishers as well. So maybe there's something he knows that we don't. However, he doesn't get a good enough kickoff on that first go. Had to regroup and do it again.
Making good time, though. You can see he knows what he has to do. He's got a lot of confidence within his swing here. 3 minutes and 15 seconds as he comes along through to our third obstacle here, which is don't touch my blocks. A lot of people have had trouble with this one, whether that be climbing up slowly or accidentally touching the blue blocks there. But he's still moving fine. You can see he's at the top of the frame now. This is a very difficult one. You don't see these moves too much in Ninja, especially where you have to move through such a tight gap. But regardless, 2 minutes and 45, he needs to be careful. His feet and legs are so close to that block. But Jonathan Bowden, this is very, very good. And a nice dismount, very dynamic as he moves into turbo rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, easy.
Yeah, it nearly spun out for him on the last one, but luckily the trapeze right there for the taking. Jonathan, as a wise man once said, fruit salad, yummy, yummy. And he needs some of that fruit salad to get to point B.
Very solid. Jonathan moving immediately into it. He knows that if he wants to clear this course, he needs to do it with a lot of time in every single circumstance throughout this course. Taking as little moves as he can on these obstacles. 2 minutes left as he comes into cliffs. He's 20 seconds behind the fastest pace, though. So he's going to have to try and shift on a little bit more if he wants to get on through the rest of these obstacles here, especially if he wants that ending result being at the top of the leaderboard. But a solid link. He was only using his fingertips there. Very brave of him. 100 seconds coming into the balance maze.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
Careful. Yeah. Balance, if you know that you're off and you can't recover it, it's best to just go immediately. But he has no more opportunities to do that on this obstacle without failing.
Still, I mean, he barely lost any time taking that retry. It's not going to be too dire of a situation. However, he is in 5th place, so he has to get through this obstacle, though I guess that's kind of a given that Atticus, our current 4th place finisher, who's on the bubble, got that point to begin with. So find that trapeze, and now Jonathan, this is going to be the decider if he can get through this in time.
Goes immediately into that TikTok. He knows, and a solid move there, linking it. That's the time save I've been wanting to see. And Jonathan Bowden is in the Premier Series finals, but he still has 50 seconds. Is he going to go for the same skip we saw?
Oh, I think he is.
Possibly.
He's swinging that
Anthony
way.
Tried to go for this.
Oh, and he's there! He's done it!
This is good! Okay, Kane, 40 seconds now. Jonathan, one more obstacle to go, and he has the time to do it, and he's thrusted himself into 1st place overall already. But Jonathan, one more obstacle, and it's the big, tall one. Are you tired yet?
This could be it, Billy. He's climbing up the rope, a little misgrab, but he finds the rope once again, reminiscent of the gauntlet rope, an obstacle that plagued many of our elites, an elite killer in and of itself. Almost there. Come on,
He's
Jonathan.
so close. 10 seconds left. He's trying to pinch the rope now. It's in his grasp. 5 seconds.
Yes!
And we have a clear. Come on, fella.
Jonathan, our first finisher of the placement course, our first finisher of the challenge course. An incredible showing from Jonathan, the one to break through.
That was absolutely insane. My lord, it didn't look like he had a lot of time, but as soon as he started linking stuff on this line right here, immediately going into the rings, reeling in the TikTok and linking out, and then the skip. Oh, yes, mate. Absolutely impeccable. He cut it close, though. He gave both me and Kane a scare as he made his way up onto that, and then the fall was probably even scarier than doing the obstacle itself. But it was a relieving one. Incredible stuff from all 4 of our qualifiers for our males. Jonathan, Aiden, Micha, and Anthony all going to the Premier Series finals at Ascend. Incredible stuff. Well done to our females as well who have qualified. We had Amelia, Brooklyn, Eliza, and Macy come along through. Incredible stuff, man. Oh, my Lord. That was great.
Man, that was intense at the end. The final run there, just a testament to how tight this challenge course is. Really kept us on our toes, even with the skips that Jonathan utilized. It was just barely enough to get through. And a good challenge course always keeps each and every athlete on their toes, challenges them, aptly named, because if it were easy, everyone would be doing it.
Indeed, they would be. Wow, what a way to start things out for our Carolina Ninja Academy qualifier. Let's have a look at both of our winners again. We saw Amelia come along through. Our first runner on the challenge course ended up getting 1st place on the challenge course, as a matter of fact, which is absolutely insane to see, setting the precedent for what the boys had to do as well. And then we just saw Jonathan absolutely crush it. Oh, wow. I'm still in awe, honestly, at that clear. Very, very happy with how that one went.
Yeah, that's true. We were a little bit concerned about his time constraints. He took a retry as well on the balance, but honestly, I guess that's kind of like the best place in regards to time to take a retry is on a balance obstacle that's super quick like that. He was the first person to pull off the skip, and I think that was what did it, because if he had gone for that second ring, that would have cost a lot of time redirecting the swing to that small red one. Overall, though, what a performance from each and every of our kid athletes, but we still have 5 more left to go, Billy.
Indeed, we do. More waves coming your way. Next up, we have the Mature Kids division, which is going to happen at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the preteens are going to commence at 5 p.m. Eastern Time later on today. Tomorrow is where all the big guns start coming out. We've got the teens, amateurs, and elites at 9 a.m., 1 a.m., and 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. respectively for each of those divisions. Kane, I cannot wait. How are we feeling going into the rest of today?
Yeah, I mean, the kids set a pretty strong precedent as usually the first division to go up. They have a tough act to set for those to come. And I think our kids, they really had to work to get into the Premier Series finals, to get through what has been set courtesy of our course designer, Kevin. And with our forthcoming divisions, I wonder, how are the elements going to change as our athletes get older, more experienced, more finely tuned in their craft? We're going to find out as the weekend progresses.
Indeed, we are. A lot of action to still look forward to throughout the entirety of this competition. And from Kane Malden and Billy Dixon, we've been your commentators for the kids, and we will see you later. Stay tuned.